Welcome back for episode 5.
I am Megan.
I'm Ashley.
And welcome to
In Crime.
Crime.
I like it. I like that little tongue roll on it.
Crime. Yeah, we are excited.
Yes.
Once again, filming in the evening. So I am tired.
Yeah.
We have done a full day of other work, other jobs.
Yeah. And it's been kind of a poop day.
It has.
Yeah. Just dealing with
It's been busy.
a lot of people. It wasn't like bad. I just dealt with a lot of people today.
Yeah. What'd you do this past week?
What did
Something.
wait. Oh, I crafted with my family this weekend. Made a little Christmas wreath for myself. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Yeah, so a little craft day.
Ashley is very artistic. I said that.
I
said.
Well, probably that too. I'm
Yeah.
just undiagnosed.
Yes, absolutely. Are we all?
Yeah,
What is it?
exactly. Yeah, I like to do a lot of artsy things. So
Yeah. Very talented.
Thank you. What about you? What'd you do?
I had a back injury. I pulled my back. I had so many plans this past weekend. We had a football game that we were going to go to. I had Oktoberfest where my brother lives that I was going to go to with my family. Was going to have a lot of fun and got up Saturday morning to get the day started and slipped a disc. I don't know what happened, but it hurt so bad. And so I just thank God for in-laws, our in-laws,
Yes.
because they came and rescued me. Just
Megan, I'm so sorry. Like I really, you like got out of bed to start your day, and like the world was like,
Nope.
not today.
back down, lady. And so I did. I listened. So that was nice. But nothing else. And I don't think there's any pressing things. Our next episode's going to be our Halloween one that I'm really excited.
Yeah, I've got a 10 that I need to narrow down. So I've got one that I know I'm going to do,
Yes.
but then I need to narrow down the next one. And so anyway, I'm excited. There's more haunted areas in Tyler and stuff that I didn't realize.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
And we might do we might do a
Yes. Ooh, for our Halloween episode.
So
Yeah.
that would be fun to add that in there.
Yeah.
But anyways, today is Ashley's case.
Yes.
That she has been working. So
Yeah.
I'm
I think that you're going to be a little surprised about this one. So lots of little twists and turns.
I just know very vague details.
Okay, well, we're about to jump right in. Okay. So real quick for sourcing purposes, I have 4 sources. It was Tyler PD Records Department, Smith County Records Department, KLTV, and an episode on A&E called Cold Case Files Classics.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, so here we go. Today we're talking about a guy named Patrick Horn. Okay.
Ooh.
Yep. So I'm going to take you back to October 13th, 1991. We're in Tyler, Texas, and a lady named Karen Choice is at home with her 4 children.
Okay.
And they're all asleep in their beds. Okay. And it's 2 a.m. A stranger.
Not at 2 a.m.
I know. A stranger slips into the house.
Oh.
Makes his way down the hallway and takes Karen's youngest son, Chad, who is 8. Slips right out of the house.
Oh my God.
In the middle of the night. So Karen gets up that morning. She's excited. It's a special day for her. It's her birthday. Yes. So she gets ready for church and she heads out and got her day started at church. So service starts and Karen's oldest daughter calls.
Oh, I was about to say, so who'd she leave the kids with?
Yes. So Karen's oldest daughter calls and is like, Mom, is Chad with you? And Karen's like, I left all of you at home sleeping this morning. And she's like, we can't find Chad anywhere. So Karen promptly leaves church. And within an hour, she has family, friends, and neighbors gathered to start searching in the community. So within a couple hours, nobody finds Chad. And Karen was hopeful. She's like, I was really hoping he was going to be up in a tree. He's kind of a prankster and he's 8, they love jokes. And so she really thought that he was going to be hiding somewhere and that they would stumble across him, but that did not happen. So a few hours into the search, Karen's like, okay, we're calling police. So Sergeant Bill Gecking shows up, who that's a name you'll know because he worked with Steve on many cases.
Yes.
So Sergeant Bill Gecking shows up to start leading an investigation on where Chad might be. So Bill first notices there's no damage to the door. Like there wasn't there was no signs of a forced entry or break-in.
Right.
Then inside the house, he notices there's nothing disturbed. Nothing, no blood, nothing is disturbed other than Chad is just missing. No, not even signs of a struggle. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Like, obviously somebody that knew the family, right? Like knew how to get in the house. Like it seems, right?
Mom, I think if like your child goes missing, but then the cops get there and they don't see any signs of forced entry or anything like that, I think I would be one of two ways. I think my brain would either go worst direction ever, or it would go in, well, did he just leave to go play and like just hasn't came back or what?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so Bill or Sergeant Gecking says, maybe Chad's a runaway.
Yeah.
And Karen's like, no, I know my son. He's a happy kid. He loves to play outside. He loves to play pranks. He loves he's mischievous, but he's not a runaway. She's like, he's 8. He's not a runaway. Yeah. So she's like, something in my gut is telling me this is not good.
Yeah.
So she immediately goes to the kidnap route.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, Karen, we want you to stay at home and maybe you'll receive a ransom call.
Okay.
Well, this is 1991.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
early 90s.
Yes. Yeah. So 1991. So that's exactly what Karen does. So she sits at home and for like 2 days, nothing happens. No sign. Okay. On day 2,
oh my gosh,
a letter is received at the family's business called Sterling Funeral Home.
This is Karen's family.
This is Karen's family's business. The letter is addressed to her brother, Greg.
Okay.
Greg Sterling. Okay. So it's a ransom letter for Chad.
What?
So the letter states, we want $10,000 in a briefcase to be left at a Greyhound bus station on Bodark and Locust, if you're familiar with Tyler, you know those streets.
Yeah.
And then the cops are not to be involved, and that they have an informant that is either a very close family friend or even possibly a family member. So if they don't go by the rules by any means, like it's off and they're killing Chad. And they said, you'll know if we found out that you didn't follow everything that we requested because we won't show up to pick up the money.
God.
Yes.
Okay, so was this family kind of more well off?
Well, I don't know if they were well off or if they just I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean maybe middle class, I would say probably. Okay. So, yeah, then Bill Gecking is like, "Oh, shit. Yeah. This is a real kidnapping." Yeah. Okay, it's like, let's kick it into high gear.
Yeah.
He's like, he didn't run away. So they have to get the FBI involved. And so they immediately set up a sting operation. So now it's been another 2 days. It's the day that the note said, to deliver the money. Oh, let me go back. I forgot to say this. I'm sorry. Okay, but before this, police start questioning Greg. They're like, this letter came to you, addressed to you. Yeah, and so they're concerned that...
And this is the uncle. Greg's the uncle.
Greg is Chad's uncle, correct. Karen's brother. And so not that Greg kidnapped his own nephew or anything, but they're saying he may have done something, to extort this $10,000 out of the...
Yeah, like, what'd you do, Greg?
Oh, yeah, out of the business because old Greg has a drug problem.
Oh, here it is.
Yes. So either Chad was... This is their theories. Either Chad was kidnapped to pay for the $10,000 debt owed, or possibly Greg kidnapped his own nephew to extort the money out of the company.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry.
They're trying to look at it from all angles.
Yes. So Greg denies this information. He's like, that's not how it went down. Like, I would never kidnap my nephew or harm him. And he said, I'll go get the $10,000 in the briefcase and I'll help you in any way that I can.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, bet. So then, okay, sorry.
Okay, bet.
So then now we're creating the sting operation. Okay, so it's 2 days later. So now Chad's been missing 4 days.
Oh.
I know. Greg shows up at the specified bus station at Locust and Bodark. He drops the briefcase where told and then leaves. Well, of course, since it's a sting operation, like the cops are everywhere. They're stationed all over the place, incognito, of course, but stationed all over the place. First hour, nobody shows.
Crap.
Several hours go by. Still, nobody shows. And so they terminate the operation and they're like, shit, back to square one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, so now they're like, okay, well, we're going to wait and see if, maybe another letter comes in or we hear from the killers. And, kidnappers, not killers. We talk a lot about killers, though.
Yeah.
Okay. The kidnappers, my bad. So, but
it's a true crime podcast.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about killers.
So in the meantime, they're like asking the family, would you all be willing, family and close friends, be willing to take a polygraph? So everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. So all the family and close friends take a polygraph. Guess who doesn't pass? Greg Sterling doesn't pass.
Okay, I get Craig and Greg.
Well, it's fine.
I don't give a crap what his name is.
So Greg doesn't pass.
He doesn't pass his polygraph.
They give him several more polygraphs. He failed every one. Yes. Okay. So polygraph is not enough to convict him, but still enough to keep him. Keep him on the suspect list, right? Because clearly Greg knows a little something about like what's going on here. So, okay, guys. Fast forward 6 months. No word.
6 months?
No word. Fast forward. We're now at a whole year. No word. And then, all of a sudden, Karen walks out to her car. So Chad went missing October 13th, 1991. It's now October 14th, so almost to the day, 1992. Karen walks outside of her house, and she sees a ransom note on her windshield.
Holy crap.
So she immediately calls, the police. And this note now states that Chad is still alive, that he was almost killed out of their stupidity the first time. So
saying
the family's stupidity by involving the police. So they're saying the ransom is $6,000. No police, and we'll contact you again when we have further instruction on where to drop the money.
So it was 10,000 originally. And now they dropped it to 6,000.
Which makes me speculate that part of the debt was paid, right?
Right.
It makes me think part of the debt was paid.
Yeah, because that math ain't mathin'. Because I would assume that if whoever has him kidnapped goes a whole year because they still have him alive, and obviously you've withheld somebody's child for a year, I would say now the ransom's 20,000.
Right.
I would bump it up.
And you know what I was, thinking, and as I was working on this, I was like, what's scary too is that I don't know how well a kidnapper is going to treat a child. Because he's obviously not in school, right? Like, I don't know how they're treating him, if he's locked in a closet or,
I'm sure that's all Karen could think about.
I know, right.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, how our son is being treated.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Well, guess what? The next set of instructions never comes.
What?
Yeah, the next letter never comes. So, and the police had dusted the car and dusted the letter for fingerprints. They weren't able to lift anything. But Sarah, Karen, I don't know who Sarah and Craig are, but they can get. Karen found hope in this letter because she's like, okay, my baby's still alive, but also was terrified because the killers were back on her property a second time. Or kidnappers, excuse me, kidnappers. Anyway, so yeah, 2 years goes by and not a word. So Chad is gone. They never came back and said where to drop the money, just went cold.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So now this like he's just a missing person, unsolved disappearance. Yeah, that's it. Chad was never found. Okay. So that was 1992. We're gonna hop over a couple more years to 1994.
Good God.
And the next set of events that happen are gonna breathe a little life back into Chad Choice's disappearance. Okay.
Take us there.
Okay. So 3 men, a guy named Patrick Horn, Xavier Sherman, and Gene Lindsay are hanging out and decide they want to rob a bank.
And where are they at?
They're in Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
They want to rob a bank. So they made a plan.
Come on, guys.
Get a job.
Let's rob a bank.
I know.
Let's get
Just a wild Wednesday. So the plan was Patrick would drive the getaway car, and Gene and Xavier, who are both 16,
I was about to say,
by the way. So Patrick's an adult. I don't know how old, but a young adult.
Okay.
But the 2 boys, Gene and Xavier, are 16. So Patrick is going to drive the getaway car, and Gene and Xavier are going to be disguised with ski masks and both carrying guns.
And we're back. We had technical difficulties. Sorry, everybody.
You know what? Signal out here at the lake is not great.
Pod
babies. Yeah.
And we're back.
We're back. Okay. So
Where are we?
the plan was Patrick's going to drive the getaway car, and the 2 boys, Xavier and Gene, are going to go in ski masks, armed with guns, to rob United Heritage Federal Credit Union off of in Tyler somewhere, close to the hospitals, I believe. And anyway, so that's what they did. Patrick parked the car. The 2 men jump out, and they run into the credit union to start robbing it. And so as they go in, Gene goes behind the teller counter, and Xavier stays on the outside where the customer would be. And they both they're both yelling. They're both yelling at the teller, "Give me the fucking money."
Oh, sir.
And the teller is panic stricken, and so he's nervous, and
they've got masks on.
And they have masks on, and so it's just such a small credit union. It's only run by 2 people. So there's the teller, and then there's 1 manager on site. So yeah, they're holding him at gunpoint, telling him to put the money in a bag. And so he's scrambling. Like, tellers don't just have bags.
Yeah.
So he's scrambling to find a bag. And anyway, his manager hears her teller talking, and she's like, that doesn't sound like a normal tone for him. So she gets up, she goes in there and walks right into the middle of the robbery. So then Gene turns around, screams at her to get on the floor and not to move. So again, they're continuing to yell at the teller, who is nervous and anxious, and he recognizes the gun that the Gene has holding it in his head is a .38 caliber pistol, because he's shot one before, so he recognized it. And in his nervousness and trying to fumble around to get the money in a trash bag is what he used, he hears the gun click twice, and he waits for the bullet to come. Thankfully, Gene never pulled the trigger. So both the teller and the manager were unharmed.
Oh my God.
Yes. So while that's going on inside the credit union, Patrick would devise this plan, I imagine. He's out there in the car, in the safest,
making the kids do the.
Thank you. In the safest position possible, right? Didn't bother to case the credit union before he set up this robbery, because he's an idiot. So a Loomis armored truck. I keep hitting the microphone. A Loomis armored truck pulls into the parking lot. And Patrick sees the Loomis truck pull in, and him and the driver make eyes. And Patrick recognizes the driver as former Smith County Police Department officer Isaac Williams, and Isaac Williams recognizes that he knows this person in the car, but he's not like connecting dots that it's Patrick Horn. Yeah. It's just sad. That just tells you how long of a criminal history Patrick had, that this like guy that used to work for the Smith County Police Department is now, or Smith County Sheriff's Department, excuse me, is now working for Loomis and recognizes that. Yeah.
And I know he's trouble.
Yeah. So, of course, what does Patrick do? He saves his own hide. So he takes off out of the parking lot.
Oh, my gosh.
Leaves Jean and Xavier on their own. And so, like, while Isaac's taking all this in, the two boys now are running out of the credit union. And one of them, like, points their gun at Isaac.
Holy cow.
So he's in an armored vehicle. He's good.
And I'm pretty sure they're armed, too, right?
They are.
Yeah.
They are armed. So he's like, he recognizes all the activity that goes on. He's like, oh, hell no. So Isaac is like, I'm about to go in pursuit.
Oh,
so he
in his armored
vehicle. So unfortunately, Patrick got away in his car, and the two boys were able to evade him. So let me tell you, the credit union backs up to the Azalea District.
Yes.
So if you're familiar with the Azalea District, it's a beautiful community with old Southern style homes and brick streets. So lots of places for the boys to like hide out.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they did. Okay. So the boys,
and they're on foot. The boys are on foot.
The two boys are on foot, and remember, this is before cell phones, so they're having to like figure it out. So they're
raw dog.
Right.
Raw dog and a robbed or getaway something.
So okay. So Patrick and the two boys end up finding each other and reconvene. So in the meantime, the police have now shown up at the credit union. They're dusting for fingerprints. They're interviewing the tellers. They get nothing. They get the whatever, like the teller and the manager can give them, right? Whatever descriptions they can give them, on top of somebody, they didn't say who, was able to get a partial plate number of the getaway vehicle.
Was there
no security footage? I know.
They have credit union?
I know. Well, again,
y'all do?
The 90s. I know. Anyway, so they get nothing from that. Patrick, Jean, and Xavier are together, and Patrick is now counting the cash. So he tells Jean and Xavier that they made away with $3,000. So he gives each boy $1,000. In truth, they made away with $7,800, and Patrick kept $5,800 for himself.
Wow. Wow.
I know, what a jerk. All you did was drive away.
Yeah.
All you did was drive away. You dropped them off and then left them
to
be caught.
Then you made them run to find you or whatever.
And you took the biggest profit and had the least amount of risk.
Oh.
I know. It's very frustrating.
Man.
I know. It's very frustrating. So, okay. So now we're going to fast forward a couple months. We're still in 1994. We're now in November. Patrick Horn, Jean Lindsay, no Xavier this time, but now we're going to bring in a guy named Chris Wells.
Okay.
These three boys are hanging out. Okay.
How old is Chris?
He's young. I don't know if he's 16, but he's young. But I do know that that Jean is 16.
Got it.
So again, these are all very young men that are involved in this. So they decide they too want to rob a bank since they were so successful a couple of months ago.
I was just say they had great success.
Yes. So this time, instead of just using one vehicle, they're going to steal one, okay, to rob the next bank or credit union. So they go out in search of a vehicle, and Patrick drops Jean and Chris off at Steeplechase Apartments.
You know how I know about that?
Please tell me.
Because it's in my next case. Jess was texting our father-in-law about it the other night.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes. Steeplechase Apartments.
There you go.
Okay. Where they steal a 1983 gold Cadillac.
Well, goodbye.
Mm-hmm. So then the boys hide the Cadillac off of Highway 155 and Old Noonday Road. Okay.
Exactly.
And they're leaving it there to pick up the next morning.
Oh, so they steal it
and then hide it. Yes. So the next morning they pick up the vehicle, and now the plan is Patrick is going to follow them. He's going to keep his distance. He's going to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
The two are going to pull up to the bank or credit union.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to rob it, and then they're going to leave, and then Patrick's going to follow them to wherever they ditch the car.
And then pick them up. Are they robbing the same credit union?
I'm going to get there.
Oh.
So that's okay. So their target bank, which is no longer there, I couldn't find a history of what bank it was that was there.
Okay.
But it was on the corner of 155 and FM 2661. So across from Brookshire's.
Mm-hmm.
Which is close to like the bridges not close to, but on your way to like the bridges off of Palestine or whatever. Anyway. That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, but you know where that is. So anyway, well, again, because they didn't bother to freaking case anything, they show up and the bank is closed for the day. Yeah. Suck it.
Banks. They like to close.
They do.
Other day.
Yeah, they do. Okay, well, Patrick's like, please. Like, I've got a credit union we can hit up. So it's like,
oh, Patrick.
Like,
in my head.
Yes.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. So Patrick's like, yeah, you know what? I was successful a couple months ago down here. Me and Jean like made away with $3,000.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's go back and hit this place up.
Yeah.
So that's what they do.
Oh.
They keep the same plan. Patrick's going to hang back, and Jean and Chris are going to pull into the parking lot, rob the credit union. And again, this was a United Heritage Federal Credit Union. And then they're going to take off and ditch the car. So that's what they do. The boys go in, park, and Patrick's away. So as the boys are going in, and again, they're masked with ski masks and armed with guns, just as before. And a red Suburban pulls into the parking lot with two women in it.
Two women?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
As a mother-daughter. And they see like something's going down.
Something's afoot.
So yes. So they're like, better not. So they opt not to go in.
Good job, ladies.
They opt not to go in. But old Patrick Horn sees the Suburban. He panics and flees the scene again.
What an idiot.
I know.
But
I know.
they still have the gold Cadillac there.
They still have their getaway vehicle in the parking lot.
Okay. They don't have to run on foot this time
They do not.
to catch scaredy cat Patrick.
Correct. So they go in, they rob the credit union in the same manner. And it's two women this time, a female teller and female manager. Nobody is hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. But what we have now is security footage.
Oh.
Yes. So
They
after they
first
did. So after they were robbed the first time, they're like, not again.
Yeah. We're going to turn them cameras on.
Yeah. So they have surveillance footage.
Nice.
So the boys are able to escape the credit union. They meet up again with Patrick. This time, in truth, they did make away with $3,300 and they split it evenly. Okay. So that's that. They think they're badasses, all the things. So, but Tyler PD is like, yes, we have footage.
Yeah.
So they take this image and they throw it out on the TV within 3 hours of the robbery.
Oh, my goodness.
It's on the news on Crime Stoppers. Okay. So while it's airing, an off-duty officer named Luis Correra sees the footage and he starts analyzing it. He's like, okay, one guy is tall and thin and wearing a plaid hoodie or a plaid jacket with a solid gray hood. The other guy is short and stockier and in a white, lighter colored t-shirt. So he's just kind of analyzing it, right? So then Officer Carrera steps outside of his home and sees his neighbor, Chris Wells, walking down the sidewalk.
He's like, wait a minute.
And so, yeah, Officer Carrera is like looking at Chris and he goes, Chris is kind of tall and trim. And his friend is kind of short and stocky. And the clothes seem similar.
My God.
So Officer Carrera calls it into detectives, and the detectives are like, "This kind
the luckiest man ever."
Like, hey, this is a good lead because Officer Carrera knows Chris Wells, and it kind of fits the description of the two gentlemen that were robbing. The two jerks that were robbing the bank.
Proper.
Yeah, I don't think they were saying please and thank you to the cash.
No.
So anyway, so detectives were like, okay, we're gonna go see if we can find Chris Wells.
Yeah.
So they head out and they go to Chris Wells' house, and Chris's younger brother Keith answers the door. And immediately, officers see something. A plaid jacket with a gray hood thrown over the couch. So the detectives are like, hey, Keith, can you tell us about that jacket? And he goes, well, it's mine. He goes, but my brother and I share a lot of our clothes. And my brother Chris has been wearing it for the last couple of days. And he just brought it back a little bit ago.
He just brought it back after he robbed the bank.
He just brought it back a little bit ago. And detectives like, huh. And they're like, do you recognize this man in the photo? And Chris is like, and Keith is like, yeah, that's definitely my brother Chris.
Oh my goodness.
And police are like, okay. And then Keith is like, and I think the other guy could be Chris's friend, Jean Lindsay. And they're like, thank you for your help, Keith.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the treasure trove of information.
Yes. So, okay. So now they apprehend the two boys and they bring them in for questioning.
So they catch Chris and...
Yes, they catch Chris and they bring him in first for questioning. And I don't know where my blades was in here. I'm sorry, you can cut this part out.
And we're back.
Once again.
Okay.
Okay. So detectives quickly apprehend Chris and he's brought in for questioning.
Mm-hmm.
He's shown the footage. Chris immediately owns up to it. He's like, yep, that's me. Mm-hmm. And then he implicates Jean Lindsay and Patrick Horn as his accomplices.
He sings like a canary.
He sings like a canary, which we're going to see happen over and over in this story. So they go pick up Jean Lindsay. 2 days later, they were able to track him down and they question him. And Jean's like, oh, yeah, that was me. But in order to have a lighter sentence on himself, Jean's like, hey, what if I gave you some information about an unsolved murder?
What?
And the police are like, oh, yes, do tell. Please.
Oh, my God.
We've got all day.
Do you want some coffee?
Yeah, you know what? We're going to bring in some snacks.
Yeah. Do you like McDonald's?
Yes. Okay, so Jean begins to tell them the story. Earlier, about a month ago, so we're in November when the second bank robbery happens. And so about a month prior, in Tyler, Jean, Patrick, and Chris are out cruising Highway 155. They love Highway 155.
They love to cruise it.
They're on it a lot. And they're looking for a car to steal.
As you do, as one does.
So they see that there is, Chris sees a fruit stand vendor on the side of Highway 155, just before the bridges in Lake Palestine. And Chris is like, I want that old man's truck. Yeah.
fast.
Mm-hmm. So there's a county road that runs right alongside this fruit stand, which is owned by an older gentleman in his 80s named J.C. Levasseur.
His 80?
J.C. Levasseur in his 80s is running a fruit stand. How more innocent can you possibly be?
Right?
Yeah. So Patrick turns down this county road that runs by Mr. Levasseur's fruit stand, and he pulls over to let the two boys out. They're going to walk up to the fruit stand. So as the boys take off on foot, Patrick gets his truck stuck. So it takes him a minute.
He's a dumb.
He's not the brightest. He's not the brightest. He gets his truck stuck, and he's trying to get it turned around. Well, by the time he gets back down the county road, he sees that Chris and Jean are in Mr. Levasseur's truck with Mr. Levasseur. So all three are in the truck. I know. Why? I'll get to that. So Patrick keeps on driving, and he's going to go find a place to wash the mud off his truck. Because that's his concern.
Let's wash the mud off this truck.
Let's wash the mud off. So Jean and Chris realize that the truck is a standard, and they don't know how to drive a stick shift. So they make Mr. Levasseur unhook his trailer, which he does. And then they're like, now you're going to freaking show us how to drive this thing. So he does. Mr. Levasseur takes them a mile or two down the road, showing them how to shift gears. And then when they get to a certain point, Chris is like, all right, stop and get out. So Mr. Levasseur has been
doing.
I know.
Fellas?
He's been very compliant, right?
This poor old innocent, wholesome man.
I know.
With a fruit stand.
I know. So, yes. So Mr. Levasseur gets out, and Chris tells him to start walking in the woods. He tells him to walk toward that embankment at the back.
No.
And immediately Mr. Levasseur's like, look, you can have whatever you want. Please don't kill me. I don't want to die. That's what he says. I don't want to die. You can have whatever you want. And they tell him to keep walking. And Jean says, Chris, leave the old man alone. We don't have to do this. Leave the old man alone. And Chris says, no, he's seen our faces. The bastard's got to die. That's a quote.
Shut the heck up.
And so they're making him walk back. And so then Chris now announces to Mr. Levasseur, you're about to die.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Levasseur starts begging for his life. Again, I don't want to die. He's been married for 60 years to the same woman. Just trying to make a couple of bucks on some onions and stuff. And Chris is like, no, you gotta go. Chris shoots. The bullet grazes the side of Mr. Levasseur head. Mr. Levasseur grabs his face and tries to take off running.
Oh, dang it.
Tries to take off running. Well, you can imagine an 80-year-old person trying to take off running. Chris Wells takes off after him, shoots him point blank at the back of the head. Mr. Levasseur falls and dies immediately.
My God.
And these two just get up and walk right past Mr. Levasseur's body, laying on the forest floor, and go get in the truck.
Oh.
Just this awful, ruthless killing. So a little karma with this, though, that we'll find out. A little karma. So the boys, guess what? Can't get the truck started. Because they're idiots, and nobody took a note during Mr. Levasseur's driving lesson.
You shot your freaking dude that was teaching you.
And so now it's really a pointless killing, because now you made it away with nothing.
Oh.
Well, so what they didn't know is that Mr. Levasseur, and there's a lot of fruit stand vendors on Highway 155. So what they didn't know is every police officer that is on duty always stops and checks in on all the fruit vendors on their daily routes. They check on them.
Yeah.
So Mr. Levasseur had already been checked in with Tyler PD that day, and it was a female officer, and it was payday, and she said, hey, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get some fruits and vegetables from you this afternoon. So before she could even come back to Mr. Levasseur's stand, someone had called into her. It was like, hey, Mr. Lavasser's truck is missing and his trailer's there. And she's like, that's odd.
Because
She's like, I just talked to him a couple hours ago and I told him I'd be back. And he would never leave his trailer, right?
Yeah.
With all of his goods.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't long. So they find the body the same day because somebody else calls in and says like, hey, I think you guys should come check this out.
Yeah.
So it was all discovered within a few hours of it happening. So what they didn't know is that Mr. Lavasser in his front pocket had a wad full of cash.
Ha!
Yeah. And he had $1,500 under a rock at the fruit stand.
What a
Exactly.
idiot.
Exactly. So they made it away with nothing. So they got nothing out of Mr. Lavasser other than, bless his heart, his little life.
That is
which is
so
the worst
fucking
part.
sad. The most wholesome little old man.
Yes. Okay. So same day. Okay. That evening, Patrick and Chris are hanging out together.
The same day as
The
stand.
Oh, you know what? Let me back up.
Okay.
So remember Patrick was washing his truck, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. He's washing the mud off his truck.
It always seems to be when things are really going down.
He gone.
Yeah.
He gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gone.
He gone.
He gone.
Yeah. So Patrick has now washed his truck. He had to ask somebody for quarters to wash his truck because, I know. Anyway, so he gets back down on 155 and he sees Chris. He's like, dude, what happened?
Yeah.
So Chris kind of fills him in. But what he doesn't tell Patrick is that he killed the old man. He's like, oh, I shot at him. It grazed his head, but he must have died of a heart attack or something.
Weird. I wonder why he wouldn't tell Patrick.
I don't know. Well, then further down the road, now they pick up Jean. So I don't know if the boys were going in opposite directions to be less suspicious. I don't know why they were far apart. Yeah. But Patrick picks up both guys. So now that evening, it's Patrick and Chris, and they're hanging out. And Crime Stoppers pops up on the screen. And it's about Mr. Lavasser. So now they find out that they didn't get the cash that was on him or the cash under the rock. So now they know. Now they know. But there's a reward, $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person that murdered Mr. Lavasser.
Well,
Patrick was like, score. And he turns to Chris and he goes, I could call on you to get that money. And Chris looked at him and goes, you do what you got to do.
What?
Yeah. Just like, hey, you do what you got to do. Patrick obviously did not end up calling. Okay. He did not end up calling.
And remind me, Chris is 17-ish.
He's young. I don't know exactly how old.
Okay.
But I'm going to guess late teens. So 17, 19-ish area there. So he's young. But nobody has a car other than Patrick. So, I don't take that for whatever you will, if they're 16 or not. I don't know. So anyway, so that's where we are. So they immediately bring in Patrick, and all three men are indicted for the murder of Mr. Lavasser and the 2 bank robberies.
Wow.
Okay, so they're
Wow.
yeah, they're
No, I was trying to say wow, and I don't know, but I said wow.
so they're sitting in jail right now. Okay, so it's the fall of 1995. It's been 4 years since little Chad Choice has disappeared.
Golly.
Okay.
This is a wild ride.
Okay.
I forgot that they're...
I know. There was lots of things that went into this.
Yes.
Okay. Karen Choice is at home. She steps out on her porch, and there's a little something in a plastic, grocery sack on the porch. She opens it up, and it's a human skull. Karen immediately, her heart breaks, and she says, no, this is not Chad. This is not my son. My son is alive somewhere. She calls Tyler PD. They immediately come collect the skull. The family provides DNA. Unfortunately, the results were inconclusive. So they send the skull to the University of North Texas in Denton, because they have a forensic anthropology department. So the skull was given to a professor named Dr. Gilking, and Dr. Gilking was hoping he could do a dental record ID.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Chad didn't have any dental records. Okay, I know we're in the 90s and we don't know how advanced science is, but so he was able to have this thing where they can put the skull in like this box of like sand. So like the skull's like sitting in the sand like it would be on a beach or something.
Yeah.
And they have this scanning system that scans like the 3D images of the skull and then loads it into the computer. So then Dr. Gilking reaches out to Karen. He's like, hey, I need the most recent photos you have of Chad, every angle possible that you can find. So what they do is then they take those photos and the scan of the skull and they start overlaying them. So almost like trying to see if the puzzle pieces fit.
Yeah.
And
this was in 95.
This was in 95.
Right.
I know. When I was reading that, I was like, by God. I was like, we were way more advanced than I realized.
Right.
So yeah. And so because of this technology, they were able to determine it was indeed Chad Choice's skull. Yeah, so it was really, really sad.
Yes.
And so then when Karen learns this, she's like, I don't understand how somebody can be
What is going on here?
so demonic that would do something to this family. She said, an anger rose up in me that I had never
I
experienced.
bet so.
So anyway, she is just
to light the world on fire.
Yeah,
At that point.
just like she just can't even let it go, right? She's just like every so often something's reminding her that her baby's gone and not
Oh my
home.
gosh, I'm sure she thinks of it every second. I would be hunting. I don't know. But
Yeah, exactly. So that was okay, so that was the fall of 95. Now we're in April of 1996. Our three boys, Patrick, Jane, and Chris, are rotting their asses in jail, thank goodness, for the murder of Mr. Lasser and the two robberies. And Patrick decides, I want to make a deal. And so police are like, what you got, Patty?
Patty.
And he says, does the name Chad Choice mean anything to you? And they're like, all right, let's talk. Let's roll up the snacks again.
Yeah.
So Patrick says that he knows the Choice family, that he used to live down the road from them in an apartment complex. And while he was not involved in the killing, he said that Chad was killed or taken by two men named Colombian drug guys.
What?
They go by the street names Paco and Carlos. Okay. And detectives were like, you know what? We're very familiar with these Colombian nationals, Paco and Carlos.
Paco and Carlos.
Yes. And they said they have a history of violence and connections to Patrick Horn. So they're like, okay, let's start digging into Paco and Carlos.
Freaking come to the mic.
Hey, do you know what Paco and Carlos both had? Legit alibis.
Oh.
Now, I don't know what the alibis were. Okay, I don't know why, what got them off the hook.
But Patrick implicated them.
Yes. So, but police, okay, they don't tell that. So police are like, okay.
He's just fishing them.
Well, Patrick's been in jail on and off in his life a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they said he had a history of embellishing and making up these details to like almost to build himself up some sort of self-importance in himself. Yeah. And so they're like, they take everything that Patrick says with a grain of salt, but they had to check into the lead, right?
Yeah.
So they don't tell Patrick that they know Paco and Carlos are not involved. They don't tell him. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, they just let that go, right? Okay. They just let it go for now. They're like, we think he'll talk again. We think Patrick will talk again soon.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden, Patrick gets a package in the mail at the jail.
Oh.
It's intercepted by the jailers. They open it up. It's the leg bone of a young child.
What the fudge sickles?
Yeah. And it has a note with it. And the note said, I need to go back and fix that. I'll tell you another detail I left out a second ago. I should have practiced it one more time. Okay. The note inside the leg bone says that if Patrick Horn basically doesn't shut up talking about Chad Choice, that they're going to come either kill him or they're going to start killing off his family.
Oh my God.
So we're led to assume that this letter came from Paco and Carlos, right? They're like, hey, shut up. Quit talking. I forgot to mention, this is awful because this is an awful detail. When Karen found the skull on her porch, it too came with a note.
Oh, crap.
All these notes are typed, by the way. I don't think I said that. They're all like on typewriter. Like it's like a sheet out of a notebook and then through a typewriter.
Wow.
And the spelling, awful. Awful. Anyway, Karen's note with the skull said, because you only paid a part, here's a part. So I can only assume that's in reference to the
only paid.
because you paid a part, here's a part. And because, remember, the first ransom letter demanded 10.
Yeah.
And then the next ransom letter demanded 6. So
somebody paid some.
Right. So that's the part. I cannot stay away from my mic. I'm so sorry. I keep bumping it. That's the part I assume that they can't, that they're referencing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm so sorry I left that out. Okay. So now Karen has a skull and Patrick has a leg bone. And we know, of course, by DNA, the leg bone didn't come back as Chad Choice's leg bone.
How? Oh, it didn't come back.
No, it did.
Oh,
it did.
okay.
Yes. No, it did. It did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So detectives are not buying it though, because they know Paco and Carlos have this alibi. So, but again, they're not letting Patrick know that. So now Patrick gets a visit while in prison from Miss Karen Choice herself.
Oh.
So Karen is in an interview room with Patrick and a detective. And now I want you to know, Patrick wouldn't look at her at all.
I bet not.
He sat in a chair in the corner with his head down, and he would not acknowledge her. And she said, Patrick, I have known you since you were 5.
I was about to say, because she knows him.
I have known you since you were 5. I have fed you. I have prayed for you. You have played with my children. She said, I need to know what you know about my boy. Yeah.
No.
And she's like, do you want to see a picture of him? Do you want to remember what my baby looked like? And Patrick refuses to answer her, refuses to even look at her still. Well, this sets the detective on freaking fire.
I would be on.
So this detective gets up out of his chair and he is yelling at Patrick, you give this woman her boy. You know what happened. You tell her where her boy is. You know something, Patrick, and you're not telling her, help her out. And he's just like screaming at him. And Patrick is like, he's still sitting in his chair and he's screaming back at the detective. And so finally the detective cools off. He sits back down. And then Karen goes back and she's remained calm this whole time.
You're a stronger woman than she.
Yeah. If you watch the episode on A&E, like, bless her heart, she's just a saint of a woman. I don't know how I know that she had her moments of anger and sadness and all the things, but she is just, I don't know. Yeah. So,
that's insane.
Yeah.
I would have launched myself.
Yes. So Karen gets on her knees in front of Patrick, holds onto his hands, and starts begging for information on Chad. She said, please tell me where my baby is. So I want to be able to put him to rest. Tell me what you know, Patrick. Help me. Tell me what you know. And she is sobbing on her knees. That broke my heart to watch.
Yeah.
That she is begging for her child back, to just give me what you know, please.
That is so sad.
Patrick stands up in this theatrical manner and has this overall meltdown. He's crying. He's like punching the air. He kicks the chair over, or kicks the chair.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's just like he's just so distraught over this whole thing, I guess. But guess what he tells them? Nothing. He gave them nothing. And so they terminate the interview. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Karen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she didn't launch herself. I would be glad to go to prison. I would rip his throat out in front of that detective.
Yeah.
Be like, handcuff me.
I know. All right. A week goes by after this little interaction with Karen, Patrick, and the detective. And Patrick's like, hey, guys, maybe I do know a little more than what I was letting on.
You think?
And they're like, okay, what do you got? He's like, all right, well, I'm going to tell you this because I want a lighter sentencing. Okay. Now, the detectives did not say they would give him anything lighter. They're like, yeah, sure. Cool. Tell us what you know. Cool. And so Patrick's like, yeah, so I'm afraid of Paco and Carlos. And, they were the ones that kidnapped Chad. And I actually saw them shoot him. But my only involvement was that they wanted me to dig the hole to bury him in.
Sure.
And they're like, okay, so you know where Chad's buried.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I do. Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, where is that? It's in Patrick's backyard.
Shut up.
It's in Patrick's backyard. So detectives and Tyler PD load up old Patty Horn in a patrol car.
Freaking Patricia.
Yes.
Oh, Patricia.
So they load him up in a patrol car. They go over to Patrick Horn's house, and the police are like, all right, show us where it's at. He points to where little Chad's buried, and the officers start digging. And sure enough, it wasn't long before they came across plastic, bones, cloth, and bullet casings.
Oh.
Yes. But now we have a body for Karen and the Choice family. Okay, so now we have that. So she can start her closure. We just don't know what all happened, but we do have that.
Yeah.
So after they dig up the body, Patrick's like, okay, cool. Like, let's make my deal now.
Yeah. What about my deal?
Yeah. And the detective's like, you know what, Patrick? We'd really like to make you a deal. However, we have a feeling you probably pulled the trigger on this one.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
Patricia.
yeah, they're like, how many people have bodies buried in their backyard and that are completely innocent, right?
Yeah.
So like, not yet.
I don't know.
I certainly don't. Maybe a dog or two in the backyard.
2 dogs.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, fur babies. But yeah, so they're like, Patrick, we're not gonna cut you a deal just yet because we don't. You're not innocent in this deal
because you have a body in your backyard.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, they were like, we're not 100% sure that you didn't pull the trigger. And again, remember, they know that Paco and Carlos have nothing to do with it. But this is why they didn't tell Patrick that, because he's slowly hanging himself.
Yeah.
So
that hole.
Yes. All right. Over in Athens, Texas.
Oh.
Keithan Horn, Patrick's brother, was picked up for a parole violation. And detectives are like, let's just see if Keithan knows anything.
Is this an older brother or a younger brother?
I believe it's a younger brother.
Okay.
No, I know it's a younger brother.
Okay.
He's younger. So they're like, hey, Keithan, we got Patrick over here, and now we got a kid's body. Do you know anything about this? And boy, Keithan's like, yeah, I do.
Oh.
He's like, let me tell you what I know. He's like, my brother Patrick called me. Okay, so I guess there's not recorded phone calls at this point at the jail. So
are we still in 95?
We're still in 95.
Okay.
So anyway, well, if they're recorded, nobody was listening to it.
Yeah.
But Patrick's like, hey, bud, I need you to do something for me. He's like, I'm trying to frame Paco and Carlos for the kidnap and murder of Chad Choice. And I want you to help me frame them by sending Chad's skull to his mother.
Oh. Cool.
And a leg bone to me. And police like, thank you for your assistance.
We have another canary on our hands. Singing like canaries.
It's amazing to me how quickly they're all willing to roll over on each other.
Right?
Just like, there's no loyalty.
They are just a bunch of freaking imbeciles.
I mean, just no loyalty at all in the criminal community.
Loyalty.
So, yes.
Criminal community.
Yes.
No loyalty.
Yes. So with all this coming to light, Patrick would eventually be what's the word I'm looking for?
Indicted.
He was found guilty for charged. Thank you.
I'll just throw out.
Charged is such a hard word. He was charged for the kidnapping and killing of Chad Choice, his involvement in Mr. Levasseur, and the 2 robberies. So,
Wowzer.
and his sentence was death row, which I know is a mixed feeling among people, but either way, this dude needs to be off the streets, and he'll sit a long time on death row before he ever sees, and he could die of something else in prison before he even reaches death row.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You were a part of a sweet, precious 80-year-old man's murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then a sweet, precious 8-year-old boy
Who had nothing to do
with anything.
Whatever BS was going on with your drugs.
I strongly support the death.
Yeah. You know what, Patrick, you qualify.
You want.
You qualify, Patrick.
A sweet, innocent 8-year-old and goodbye.
It's that saying an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, and I'm just going to say real quick, like, podcast fell on my part. I was only researching Patrick Horn, so I didn't look into the sentencing that Chris Wells got or Gene Lindsay. So I don't know what they got, but I assume they obviously got some jail time for the murder of Mr. Levasseur.
Yeah, I would think so.
So, but I don't know if their sentencing was as harsh as Patrick Horn. So,
yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay, Ashley. We forgive you.
So what's unfortunate, though, is Patrick would never give anyone the real story about why he kidnapped Chad. Speculation, right, about the drugs involving the uncle and the debt owed and stuff like that. It all makes sense, but Patrick would never confirm that that was accurate.
Yeah.
So we really don't know, unfortunately. But yeah, we can speculate that we think that's what happened.
Yeah.
So it's 2003, 12 years past Chad's disappearance, and his family is finally able to put that baby to rest.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but in the meantime, after they were able to bury Chad and have, their service, Karen felt it upon her heart to open up a crisis center for women that are struggling with abuse or drug addiction or anything like that. And she named it Chad's House. And so, yeah, it was her ministry to be able to help women that were in crisis. Unfortunately, in 2007, Miss Karen passed away from cancer, and the Chad's House closed its doors.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you know what? She did it while she was here.
She did. And so whoever she helped was, awesome,
yeah.
Right? So in 2022, KLTV actually did a special where they met up with the family and they spoke to Chad's sister, Angela. They were doing a big celebration for Chad for what would have been his 43rd birthday.
Oh,
so family and friends came out and they were going to release balloons and do all the things and just have this big celebration. So KLTV was able to interview Miss Angela, and she too had it on her heart to start a charity. And her charity was going to be called Chad Choice Family Foundation. I'll be honest with you, I couldn't find it. So I don't know if she got it kicked off, if it went under another name or anything like that. But her goal was that her charity would help fund kids that wanted to play sports or learn some sort of musical instrument or anything like that. Extracurricular, thank you. And this foundation would pay for those families that couldn't afford to pay for their children to explore these things. Yes. So that was really cool because we know how expensive it is to put your kids in a sport or a music lessons or gymnastics, cheerleading, all the things. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
And so this was going to help, make some of those little dreams come true for some kids. But anyway, if somebody out there knows it, if it did come to fruition and I just couldn't find it because, I don't know, Google, I don't know, but I just couldn't find it. But yeah, let us know if you find it. Oh. But that's Chad Choice and the whatever monster that Patrick Horn was. And Chris Wells, clearly not an individual you want to be hanging out with. He killed a fruit stand man. A fruit stand man. He's as innocent as an 8-year-old boy. Oh my gosh. Just selling strawberries and stuff.
His community.
I know. Yeah. Awful. Awful. But yeah. So that was
That's insane.
yeah.
Really pisses me off.
Yeah. So I hope you all were able to follow along because I was like, oh, wait. Oh, I forgot this. Wait a second. Let me circle back.
So is he still on death row, or do we know?
Okay. So I need to figure out how to look that up exactly. I was talking to Steve, and Steve felt that yeah.
Haunted not.
Yeah, it was really what's on the
I know.
Steve felt that Patrick was transferred over to some sort of crimes that happened in Alabama, and that he was finishing his sentence there,
Supposedly.
and then he would be shipped back here to go back on death row in Texas once he served for whatever crimes were committed in Alabama. I didn't find that in my research, but it was also after I had already done the majority of the research that Steve kind of dropped that little information.
Interesting.
But yeah, so there you go.
Wow, what a freaking crazy ride.
Yeah.
That was like 45 cases in one, Philip.
Really, it was. Yeah, you had to kind of like chase them all around between all the shenanigans and problems they were causing. And how dangerous is Highway 155?
Yeah. Wow.
I never knew.
Yeah, I drive that one all the time.
Yeah, same.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. Okay, that was my first solo episode. So positive criticism only.
Only be accepting positive.
If you're trolling me, just keep scrolling. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Well, I think it's wonderful.
Thank you. Well, we'll see when we listen to it after all the edits you have to do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to do at least 2 big ones.
Yeah, and there was sounds. My phone, I forgot, is connected to my computer, so it's been notifying me of every text message, Snapchat, and everything.
Email.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, guys.
Okay. Like, subscribe, and share.
Yes, like, subscribe, share. Come back next Friday for our Halloween spooky episode. I'm really excited. And follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You can listen to us on Apple and Spotify, and watch us on YouTube. Watch our pretty faces on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, keep your roots deep
And your head on a swivel.
Bye.